Frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools.
Today, we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping political moments this week. Senator John Kennedy didn't just criticize AOC, he flat out called her and her squad foolish, and he wasn't subtle about it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and the rest of the progressive bloc walked right into a rhetorical buzzsaw when Kennedy took the mic. His words weren't carefully crafted political shade. They were firebombs of frustration aimed squarely at what he sees as the radical heart of the Democratic Party. And get this, Kennedy didn't stop with AOC. He expanded his strike to include the entire squad, naming Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Ayanna Pressley, calling them out not just for their politics, but for what he sees as a fundamental misunderstanding or rejection of American values. According to Kennedy, these women don't just disagree with the country, they openly hate it, and in his view, that's not just misguided, it's dangerous. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just a slip of the tongue or a passing jab. Kennedy deliberately framed them as a threat, not only to American ideals, but to the survival of the Democratic Party itself. In his words, they aren't helping their side. They're actively tearing it down from within. And this was just the start.
Frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist. But this is America, and they have the right to their opinion. But I don't like to see the president even dignify their point of view. Besides that, I think that the Squad, as they call themselves, they are destroying the Democratic Party. You know, when your opponent is screwing up, don't interrupt him. Let him go. I mean, just looking at this from a political standpoint, if I didn't know better, I would think the members of the Squad were GOP plants. I mean, they think that illegal immigration, socialism, higher taxes, abortion are all moral goods. They think America, Israel, free enterprise are moral bads. That's not what most Americans believe. And that's kind of where I am on the subject. The president has explained his position. He has said, look, here's what I meant. If you're not happy living in America, leave. It's a free country, and I agree with that assessment.
So what's the takeaway here? Senator Kennedy made it crystal clear. He sees AOC and the Squad as not just wrong, but dangerous to the core values of America. To him, their radical positions on socialism, illegal immigration, high taxes, and abortion are more than just political disagreements. They're fundamental attacks on what the country stands for. He believes their rhetoric does more to divide than unite, and he's not afraid to say it out loud. And when Kennedy says they're destroying the Democratic Party from the inside, he's tapping into a growing concern, even among moderate Democrats, that the far-left agenda might be costing them support among everyday Americans. His comments weren't just aimed at AOC's policies. They were a warning shot to the entire progressive movement. Whether you think Kennedy was brutally honest or just plain brutal, one thing's certain. The ideological war in Washington is only getting louder, and speeches like this one are gasoline on an already blazing fire. If you found this breakdown insightful, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more bold political commentary. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Kennedy is telling it like it is, or just throwing fuel on the fire? Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.